How y'all doing? Hopefully y'all are doing okay. I'm doing great. Doing wonderful, people. We have another person joining us. We got Kyrus joining us. Just hit the button thingy or whatever, and I'll bring you up. Yeah, good.
Hi,
Hello. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm great. I'm glad that we get to have this talk. I've been watching you on TikTok for a while.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm having a good time, man. It's been quite the journey, I'll tell you that.
Okay, definitely, man. We got some stuff to discuss, some questions to go
Yes,
over.
sir.
We're gonna get some basic questions down first, and also I'm recently listening to your podcast. I really like your podcast, man.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you know
Yeah,
what? It's one of those things. You know how people have started doing things over the pandemic, and then they're like, I want to try something, and then the pandemic freed up a lot of time, and then
right.
they just. But that was my pandemic thing. I'm like, I've always wanted to start a podcast, and then I just started one because of the pandemic. So I'm thankful for that. It's been fun. It's been a great journey so far.
Yes, definitely, and I'm enjoying listening to it in the car, and I also enjoyed your Black Widow review.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, you know what? I thought it was an okay movie. Not my favorite, but I thought it was okay.
okay. So, how much of a Marvel fan are you?
Oh, huge. I'm a huge Marvel fan. In my house, I have two signed posters. One by Chris Evans, aka
Really?
former Captain America, and one of Chadwick Boseman from Black Panther. Yeah, I have a signed
Wow.
and poster. I am a huge Marvel fan. I've always been a huge Marvel fan, even before the cinematic universe. Always, I'm a huge nerd. People don't really see that often, right? Because I'm
Right.
always like Gilmore Girls or something like that. But I'm a huge nerd.
Also, speaking of Gilmore Girls, you just reviewed. I think your one of your most recent reviews was like the 100th episode.
Yeah, yeah. Last week it was I did the 100th episode of Gilmore Girls. It was my 100th recap, and let me tell you, this time last year I would not have guessed that I'd be reviewing Gilmore Girls. I had never seen that show before in my life ever, and like here we are.
Right, exactly. So,
Yeah.
was you like fangirling on the inside when you interviewed Renee Bell?
I was because like being able to meet some of the cast members has been incredibly unique, and I've been very fortunate to not only speak with cast members but crew members as well that have such a fond experience of working on that show, and to now be a small part of that community, that fandom. It's been really cool. I've been enjoying it.
Definitely. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. You seem like such a sweet, a nice person, a very humble
Oh,
person. Like, have you always been that way, or did you kind of have to
listen,
work your way
mean.
to that,
I'm a
bro?
mean guy. I'm the meanest person that you'll ever see in your life. I am so mean. Like, look at my angry. This is my angry face. I'm so angry.
You look like you're crying.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Oh no, you good, you good. You surprised the hell out of me because you just said I'm the angriest person ever. And I knew your ass was lying because I'm like, you made that, that sad ass angry face. I'm like, bro, you're not that mean. You're
No,
not that mean
listen,
at all.
I make it a point. I try to make as many people smile as possible. That's all I really want to do. And I'm a firm believer that moods are contagious. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm smiling, if I'm making my day better, then hopefully that's something that can be spread throughout the rest of the people that I surround myself with. So moods are contagious, man. You know what I'm saying?
I love that. I love that. And then also, on this podcast, I like to dive deep and I like to get all up in your business. So
Fine.
we gonna
Go.
definitely, we gonna go all the way back. So please tell me about your upbringing and tell me, about your childhood and how was it like growing up for you.
Yeah, that's a very good question. It's my childhood was good. I was very fortunate, to have very supportive parents, and a very supportive older sister. And I went to a Christian school
Oh,
from,
okay.
I would say, preschool all the way up through 4th grade, and then I got kicked out. I got kicked out.
How you get kicked out?
I got kicked out for because I got my 4th grade year. I got suspended twice. Once for fighting on the basketball court, and the other, and this was the dumbest thing I've ever done. I made a very inappropriate joke in the lunchroom involving a hot dog, and I don't know why. Listen, why I made this joke, I have no idea. It wasn't even funny, and nobody laughed. But as I was saying the joke, the lunch monitor was like walking by and heard it, and I got suspended for like a week for that joke.
Whole week for a joke?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Excuse my language. What the hell did you say?
It was bad. It was like very foul. It was like a phallic just reference in regards to this hot dog. And here's the thing: is not that they like kicked me out like that right then and there, right? I finished out the school year, and what ended up happening is when my parents went to go apply for 5th grade, because you have to like reapply, quote unquote, every year.
Right.
When my parents went to go reapply for 5th grade, they were like, "No, this kid's got to go. He's got to go. We're done with him."
After that hot dog joke, it was finished after that, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was done. Like they were just like, "No, I'm good." And then I ended up going to public school, 5th grade, and that was my first experience with public school in my life. And here's the funny thing: because all the way from preschool all the way up to 4th grade, I always wore a uniform, right? So when I started public school, I didn't know what to wear to school. I had no idea. So this is what my mom thought was a good idea for me to wear to school. She put me in green overalls with the white T-shirt underneath. I had my head shaved and a bushy ponytail in the back, and I was wearing penny loafer shoes without the penny inside. Right. And I walked in, and I'm like, "This is a public school." I'm like, "Oh, this is what the cool kids are wearing." I'm set. I walk in there. I have never been made fun of more in my life. And then after that first day of public school, I was ready. I was so hurt, and I didn't want to go back. Thank God for my friend. He ended up becoming my best friend. Even to this day, I'm going to his wedding next year.
Okay.
His name is Doug Boyce. And he saw people making fun of me, and he walked me home that day after my first day, and we were best friends ever since then.
Wow, that's what's up, yo. Damn. Yo, so what year was it? Like, I just want to know, like, to be dressing up like that.
Oh, I'm old. So this was 1997. This was 1997.
Oh, okay. You're not that old. If you were a kid in 1997, you're not that old.
I'm 34 going on 87.
Come on, don't even say that. Why 87 though? Like what? Like why do you say that?
And if I were to stand up right now, my body would sound like a transformer. It would just be like click, 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 like ching, 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 ching. Like that's what it would sound like.
Oh, really?
And that's what happens.
Wow. You said 87, man. I can't with you. So how was your high school experience, jumping forward?
Yeah, high school was probably one of the most educational experience ever. And I don't just mean from like a schooling standpoint, but I was in high school, and from my freshman year, sophomore year, and junior year, I really had a grasp on like what I wanted to do, which at the time was theater. And I was a theater nerd, and I played on the basketball team. So I was the lead in the school shows, and I was also on the varsity basketball team. So like I ended up becoming like pretty popular, right? Which I'm like, yeah, hair flick, right?
Did you have hair to flick, or you just
no? I did end up having blonde hair for 2 years, but that was later on. That like I was in college.
Wait, so you went with the whole Cisco look?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and I had no shame. I was proud of that thing. But yeah, so I was pretty popular in high school, and I ended up my senior year becoming student government president, and I ended up getting kicked out as student government president because I got suspended. Wow, this sounds like a recurring thing.
Damn.
I didn't even realize this. But this was super important because this experience made me who I am today. So to make a long story short, I ended up getting suspended in high school, my senior year of high school, because I was drinking at a school function, and I got suspended for 2 weeks. My initial punishment was I wasn't allowed to go to senior prom. I wasn't allowed to go on the senior trip. I wasn't allowed to do the school show. I had already left basketball by that point. And on top of that, I had lost my scholarship, right, to the school that I was at. So I could have still went to that school, but I couldn't afford it, man. I couldn't afford it. So I had lost my scholarship. And so that was probably one of the darkest moments of my life. And that stunk, but it's, to this day, I consider it a blessing in disguise, because everything that I am today stems from that experience, right? That heartbreak that turned into a valuable lesson that I use every day as motivation, you know, and like that I'll forever be like intertwined with that moment.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's quite a experience to lose an entire scholarship to a school that you wanted. Wow, man. So like, I'm glad that you know, how long did it take you to actually emotionally get over that?
Here's the thing. I don't think I'll ever like quote get over it.
Right.
I just accept it. So the acceptance part came probably because after I graduated from high school, I ended up going to community college instead for the first 2 years, and then I ended up going to a 4-year after that.
Okay.
I think the acceptance part came after my freshman year of community college, when I realized that I have a path forward. It wasn't the end of the world like I thought it was. And I was beating myself up because I'm like, oh man, you had a scholarship to a really prestigious school. And now that's gone. Your life is done. You're 18 years old, and like there's nothing to look forward to, and like all of that stuff. And I would say my freshman year, when I made it through my first year, I was like, no, I can do this. This is not the end of the world. I'll be okay. I'll be fine.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Definitely. So like another thing I want to ask you is about your college years. Like, you know, so you studied art, still studied theater when you was in college?
I did. Yeah. I was a theater major with a marketing communications minor. And and that's probably one of the best decisions I made, because that's what I do now. Like I'm the director of social media for a marketing firm, and I've been working in marketing ever since I graduated. So for the past like 12 years, I've been working in marketing. So I'm glad, and I gave up the theater dream. Well, I didn't give up, but like I shifted focus from that to the career that I'm in now. And college was great for me. Because I guess my expectations were so low because I had lost my scholarship. But then once I found my footing again, once I realized what direction I wanted to go in with my life, I was like, oh, this is cool. I can do this. I can survive. I can push myself forward.
Okay, definitely, man. Wow, wow. Oh, Fizbit says, "Hey, Kai, love hearing this side of the story." Okay.
Yeah,
hey, what's up, Fizz?
she interviewed me. Gosh, how long ago was this? This was a couple months ago. You should, if you're not following her, you should follow her. She's fantastic. She's another great motivational speaker.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So for you, you know, you're a motivational influencer. So who influences you? Like, who's your motivational influencer?
So this is going to sound completely selfish.
Okay.
But like I mean it. At the end of the day, I always try to be better than what I was the day before, right? So the very first person that I look to for motivation is me, right?
Okay.
Because it has to stem from within. You can have other people, and I do. Like there's people that I look up to 100%, right?
Right.
But at the end of the day, the will to be better will always need to come from within yourself, because often we sit and we look at these like these mega stars and these influencers and these celebrities and all of that, and that's cool to look up to them, but they're not doing the work. You are.
Not at all.
You know,
Not at all.
You are the one that's doing the work. So I always preface that by saying, hey, yeah, I'm not like as selfish as that sounds, but at the end of the day, what you need to do is make sure that you look up to yourself. You hold yourself to the same standards that you hold your favorite celebrities, that you hold your favorite authors, your favorite actors, your favorite singers, whatever it may be. You look up to them. You can look up to yourself as well. So every single day when I wake up, when I go through my day, I always work to make sure that I am better than what I was the day before.
Wow, man, that's a lot to take in. I'm definitely taking it in, man.
Yeah. Man.
Also, you know, on your TikTok, you don't just have motivational things. You have a lot of funny videos, and you know, a couple of them I do want to discuss. But did you expect your popularity to just take off on TikTok?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's funny because I'm about to cross 200,000, and I would say when I first got on TikTok, the only reason I got on it in the first place was because my clients were always asking me about TikTok, and I just wanted to just watch videos and get a feel for it so I can talk to my clients about it. And then I started posting videos, and I remember when I hit 500 followers, I hate calling them followers because it makes it sound like a cult. So I don't know what else to call them. But I remember when I hit 500 people that followed me, I was like, people care about what I have to say? This is weird. Okay, whatever. And then it kept going on and growing and growing. And I realized, I was like, I'm starting to grow a platform here, and I can use that to tell my story and to spread a message of positivity. And so next thing you know, it was 1,000, and then it was 5,000, and 10,000, and 50K, and 100K. And every single day, I'm like just incredibly thankful for every single person that has come in my life because of TikTok. I've met some incredible people, some very sweet, incredible, talented, motivational people that that just make me want to be better. You know, I see the hard work that they're doing on not just on TikTok, but on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. And it motivates me. I'm like, man, these people are doing their thing. I can do that too. I can spread some positivity because there's so much negativity all over this place, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. And, you know, for you to show up on my, you know, For You page and other people's For You page to earn over 200 subscribers now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now you have 4.4 million likes. Like, bruh, why you make that face? Like, are you surprised?
It's a very humbling experience. I'll tell you that. It's incredibly humbling because you never really think about like that. Like the fact that there are people all over the globe that know who you are and want to listen to what you have to say. And like, it's just a very humbling experience, but it's also very sweet because you realize that I can connect with somebody that's in Africa, right? We've never met, we never crossed paths before, we may not even speak the same language, but we find something in common with each other from across an ocean, and we share a moment. Like if I may ask, where do you live?
Right now I live in Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay, Phoenix. My family lives in Phoenix, Arizona.
Wow.
I love Phoenix. Yeah, I was just out there last summer. It's great. Hold
Phoenix. Up. Give me a second real quick. Fizbit, thank you so much for sharing the interview. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Fizbit's a huge fan of yours. I'm sorry. Continue.
Oh, no, you're fine. No, she's fantastic. She's great. Yeah, but so like, for example, like this is a perfect example. Like you and I are sharing a moment. Right now I'm in Lower Bucks County, Pennsylvania, right? And you are in Phoenix, Arizona, right? We are 3-hour time difference apart across the country, sharing a moment with each other right now, right? That is not something to look down on, right? That kind of moment, people often overlook that kind of stuff because they are just like, oh yeah, it's whatever. They can just connect because they have the technology to do so. But like, I'm in awe at the simplicity of it, because we come from different backgrounds, right?
Right. Yes.
But we're right now sharing this moment. And that is really, really important. And people tend to overlook these really small, simple moments and focus on the negative things in their life. But if you always take a moment and just take in these simple things and say, wow, look at us. Look at us right now.
Right.
You know, like, I marvel at that. And that makes me smile. That makes me happy. You know, so like it's just that's the whole TikTok experience has really taught me that, for sure.
Yes, definitely. You're a very intelligent guy, man.
Oh,
I'm really appreciating this interview, man. Definitely.
Yeah, no,
I see why you call yourself motivational, because you're very motivational, bro.
I try, listen, at the end of the day, I always say I want to make one person's day just a little bit better. If I can make one person's day a little bit better, then all of this is worth it. All of it. Every single moment, every single second, all the time that you put into making videos and, sitting and talking with people, like all that stuff, it's worth it. If one person looks at it, watches this video or listens to this video and is like, my day is a little bit better. That's why I'm never caught up in analytics. Right? I'm never like, oh man, only 100 people saw my video. Oh man, only, 10 people are in my live right now, or only 20 people listen to my podcast. Who cares? Out of those 20 people that listen, one person out of that 20, their life might be changed because of it.
Yes.
That matters. You, like, the stuff that you do might save a life. It might save a life. Who knows?
Yes, definitely, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Rosh R83 says simple moments are magical moments. Yes, definitely. I agree.
Yeah.
Yes, man. You're making a lot of valid points. And like I said, once again, I really love the fact that I'm interviewing you. I knew I wouldn't regret this, because I saw your TikTok and I saw your IG, and like, how you could read people's energy by like watching them. Like, I knew you was a cool person, so I'm like, yo, I gotta get him on my podcast.
Cool. I don't know if I'm cool, but
you get what I mean by cool, like, you know what I mean, like, not the cliche, stereotypical definition of cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, your TikTok videos, you display a lot of your personality, and you're not afraid to be yourself. And can you tell me real quick what started the whole trend of dancing in a lot of your videos?
Yeah.
How you keep dancing like, randomly?
People not dancing with me kind of thing?
Yeah. Tell me about that.
Yeah. It started with my roommate, Gia, where I would always do some sort of like TikTok dance, and she would never dance with me. Even though she's like a trained dancer, she would never do the dances with me. And so it became like a running joke within like the people that follow me and all that. And so it's that, except I expanded it to just the people that are in my everyday life. So, hey, the person I'm sitting next to won't dance with me, or hey, the person on this train won't dance with me. The person at this bar won't dance with me. Like most of the time they do offer to dance, but I'm like, it's funny when people think that you don't want to dance with me. And that's the best part.
Okay. Definitely,
yeah.
Man. You're very easy to talk to, which I find, kind of strange in a way, because you said that you're an introvert.
I am.
So, like, have you always been, like, growing up? Like, tell me about, like, how much of an introvert you was growing up.
It's funny, because I always want to tell people that being an introvert doesn't necessarily mean that you're quiet. Doesn't necessarily.
No, not at all. I'm introverted, too.
Yeah. Like, there can be many different levels of being an introvert. And I'm a proud introvert. Some people will consider me like an ambivert, which is like an introvert with extroverted qualities.
Right.
I guess I can fall into that category, but I've always been an introvert. I can be an extrovert when called upon, when needed. But like, if you were to be like, hey, Kai, what are you doing on Friday night? I'll be like, I would prefer to be at home watching TV, but if you invite me to a party, I'll go, sure, why not? I don't prefer it, but I'll go, sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
definitely, man. So you seem like you're more of an adventurous type of person. Like I saw one of your TikTok videos, you was talking about a roller coaster.
Oh, I love
So
roller
like,
coasters.
so
Yeah,
you're
I'm
definitely
obsessed with roller coasters. I travel before COVID. I
hmm
traveled the country by myself riding roller coasters,
wow.
riding rides because I love theme parks. I study them. I love theme parks. I love rides. I love roller coasters, and so I enjoy just going on them. And I've been skydiving. I can't wait to go bungee jumping at some point. Like I love all of that stuff. So
Wow, that
yeah.
that tells me a lot about, how much you love yourself, that you would travel the country by yourself, no spouse, no friends, no nothing.
I love traveling by myself. I tell people all the time, don't be afraid to do things on your own. Maybe you might not want to try if you don't feel comfortable traveling on your own, that's perfectly fine, right? But like it's okay to go to dinner by yourself, go watch a movie by yourself, go for a walk by yourself. You can do that. I think that as a society we have this ideology that like, oh, we shouldn't be doing things alone because that means you're sad. That's not what that means at all. It just means that you're comfortable with your own being. You're comfortable
Right,
with
exactly.
yourself. Being alone it doesn't mean that you're depressed or that you're sad, right? I'm fully capable of being alone in a public place without worrying about what anybody else around me is thinking about or saying about me. I don't care. I'm enjoying myself and I'm going to continue to enjoy myself.
I love it. I love it,
Yeah.
man. That's something that we definitely have in common. Like taking them self-cations by yourself is like the best thing in
Yes.
the world. You ain't got to be worrying about, other people disagreeing like with what restaurants you want to go to. Like with me,
Yeah.
I went to Venice Beach and I literally was riding on the boardwalk all day.
Yes,
All day, riding on
absolutely.
the boardwalk and drinking
Absolutely.
smoothies all day.
Absolutely. And that's a beautiful thing to do. I did the same exact thing. I went to Manhattan Beach in California, and I spent the entire day there. I rented a bike, and I just rode up and down. I sat on the beach. I got lunch by myself. It was probably the best day of my life. No lie. It was the best day of my life.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
that's one thing
absolutely.
that we really definitely have in common. Like when I be doing my birthdays, like I like spending my birthdays by myself. Like one thing I
Yeah,
do is like sometimes I'll be like, okay, we could do something for my birthday with all of us friends and stuff on this day,
yeah,
but on this
yeah.
day, leave me the fuck alone. Let me go out and chill by myself.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like we have a lake
Absolutely.
out here in Phoenix, believe it or not, like a lake in Tempe
Yeah.
I just rent a little scooter or a bike and I just ride up and down for sometimes
Absolutely.
hours.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at
Yeah,
all.
man. And I get caught and
Yeah.
I really, really be getting caught up in it. So like, you
Yeah.
know,
Same. I
definitely.
feel you. Absolutely. I know exactly that feeling that you're talking about. I feel it. I know exactly what you mean.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely, man. So like more on the importance of self-love. So like how important is self-love to you and how did you get on the track of self-love?
So this is one of those things that's a continuous educational experience for people, right?
Okay.
It's something that you have to practice every day, right? Self-love is, is probably one of the most important things that you could ever do because you can't pour from an empty glass. You can't adequately love other people if you have the inability to love yourself just as much. And a lot of people will say, "Oh, well, I prefer just not focusing on me. I prefer to focus on other people." And I get that, but that can be incredibly exhausting because
Yes.
you're always going to be focusing on other people's needs, which is understandable. I'm an empath, so I get it. But there's no reason why you can't spend some time focusing on you and your needs, your wants, your growth, your education. Self-love is important for loving other people because you have to have some sort of established base. Once you establish the love within yourself, you'll be able to dish out that love to other people more easily, and you're not pouring from an empty glass.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, man. I'm gonna be playing this podcast over and over again just to listen back to the stuff that you say. Man, I'm just saying, man. Definitely, you saying some shit that I'm really gonna take with me after I leave.
Listen, it's the truth, and like one of the things I always say to people is that everything that I say comes from a place of growth for me. I will never sit here and say, I know everything. I am the end all be all when it comes to motivation. I have it all figured out. Right. I'm living the happiest life in the world. I will never lie to people like that. I'm always genuine. I will never say anything that either I didn't go through myself or something I don't believe, right? I will always make sure that I'm as genuine as possible, because if there's one thing that people can do very easily on any app, it's see through the bullshit.
Yes.
Right? There's a lot of motivational people out there that do this for the wrong reasons. And you know what? A lot of them are very popular, and that's perfectly fine. They found their shtick and they're doing it, and good for them. They have a business out of it. Right?
Right.
But just know that people can see through that sometimes. And
yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that, a person who's lying and being disingenuous, of course, people are going to catch on to that energy eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe, a wolf can't keep fitting in sheep's clothing for too long. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Definitely, man.
Yep.
So
a sustainable type of path that you want to go on, because you're not only are you hurting other people, but you're going to be hurting yourself.
Yes, definitely, man, definitely. Hey, it's funny that you mentioned an empath, man. Like
I'm a super empath, absolutely. Probably
so when it comes down to an empath, because coming from one empath to another, I could definitely be a big people pleaser, and it got me into a lot of trouble. So with you, did you have a hard time controlling your empathy at first, and did it get you into some trouble and people took advantage of you?
I still do have trouble with it, because it has to be something that you have to be able to manage, right? Because as empaths, we will sometimes end up making decisions that probably aren't the best, because our judgment might be a little bit clouded. Right? And so, for example, there might be a toxic person in your life, or there might be a toxic relationship, or whatever it may be, that you keep around because you're like, oh man, if I cut this off, what's going to happen to them? Right? Yes. And that's not healthy for you. So like that's something that I've been struggling with to this day. And I always have to remind myself, I always have to be a little, quote, selfish here, because it's like, okay, is this relationship, romantically or family or friendly, whatever it may be, is this relationship going to push my life forward? I can feel bad for all of the people that I want. I can feel sad. I can feel angry for people. I can do all of that. But at the end of the day, when I go to sleep at night, do I go to sleep knowing that it pushed my life forward?
Right. Yes.
That's the important question.
Yes, and I've learned that I had to be just a lot more selfish when it comes down to, and I had to, take a stand, because my empathy has got me into some shit, man. Like I'm telling you, like, real quick, I'll say one thing that my empathy really got me into, just for all the people out there that want to hear. I had a best friend who moved in with me, and long story short, he didn't pay his side of the rent. He didn't really do anything. He had people over that wasn't supposed to be there. And next thing you know, I stood up for myself, and I was like, yo, like, you gotta go. Like, if you keep, taking advantage of me and you're stealing from me now, like, nah, man, you gotta go. And absolutely. Next thing I know, I get punched in the face.
What?
For nothing. Yeah, I get punched in the face. I didn't just get punched, like, he full on, like, started physically attacking me. And then because I had, my own apartment, I had a job, and I was in college at the time, I didn't want to lose any of that. So I didn't hit him back. You know what I mean? And I was like, and then the police were called, and some more profanities were thrown out there. And next thing you know, I'm in handcuffs. And,
oh my gosh.
I'm like scared to death because I've never been in jail in my life. I'm such a goody. I'm such a good guy. I've never been in jail before. So next thing I know, like I'm sitting in jail, my mama bailing me out. And my mom is so old. Let me tell you something. My mom is so overly concerned about me. So when I said I was in jail, like she immediately went to the bail box and was like, no, like, you know, AJ is too soft to be up in there. So like, nah, we gotta get him out of there. And I spent a year fighting the case because I got blamed. I got blamed for it because I hit Amir against the counter, cut him, and they thought that I did something
to like provoke it.
Yeah, so I took all the blame for it, even though, you know, and I lost everything. I lost my house, I lost my job, I got kicked out of college. I literally lost everything within a 2-week period, and I was homeless.
How do you? How long ago was this?
Like it was 2015. Like I can smile about it now. Like right now, I'm 28 years old now, so I was 22, and I can smile about it now. But when I used to talk about it, I used to get really angry,
sure,
really
and it's
sad.
okay. It's okay because you are, unless I'm mistaken, a human being, right? Unless you're talking to an alien or robot, you are a human being. So my question to you is this: I know you kind of alluded to this already, but given that experience that you had, which is awful, by the way, and I'm so sorry that you had to go through that.
It's okay.
How do you feel today? So like when you wake up and you think about that experience, what's the first like thought that comes to your head?
Well, I don't think about it no more, you know what I mean? Because, you know, I put the past aside and I forgave him. Mm-hmm. But, you know, when I think about that experience, it was one of the biggest lessons I've ever learned. So
that right there, that's the most important thing that you can take from that. Because like, and for anybody that's listening to this, that I want you to remember this moment, right? Because every single person that listens to this is going to go through something in their life that's going to be either traumatic or life-changing or a big lesson, whatever it may be, right? And it might take time, but you're going to at one point look back on that moment and you have to decide, okay, am I going to take that moment and use it to my advantage and learn from it, or am I going to continue to just let it fester in there and bring me back down? And it doesn't have to be anything like long-term. People might have had a bad day. Maybe like you had like a really bad day, something like happened, right? But at the end of the day, you're still breathing, you're still alive, thank God, right? So are you going to take these bad days and learn from them, or are you going to take these bad days and grow from them? Yes. That is what people need to do. That's what I challenge myself to do every single day. When I have because people are always like, Kyrus, you're always smiling. No, I'm not. Don't judge it based off of what you see on TikTok and Instagram. I'm not. I have some bad days, right?
Yes.
This past Saturday, I had a really, really, really bad day. My anxiety got to me. I was just feeling overly anxious, and I couldn't move out of my bed. I was in bed for like most of the day on Saturday. I was a hot mess, right? But I look back at it and I'm like, okay, what did I learn from this?
Wow.
I learned like methods of which I can control that. I learned, you know, how, if that were to happen again to me, how would I handle myself?
Wow.
Right? That's the important thing for sure.
Wow. And thank you so much, Balsi. I'm butchering the hell out of your name. I'm so sorry. But that's horrible. People like that aren't worth the kindness in your heart. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Davina's great. She has a great small business that she's running as well. So anybody listening in, you should give that. You should click on her profile and go visit her business. She's a good person as well.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, man. So I want to touch into let's switch subjects for a minute because I'm just out of curiosity. You just said, you know, your anxiety was messing up. So you have anxiety disorder?
I do. Yeah, and it's funny because I wasn't diagnosed until I was an adult, right? And because I really didn't think much of it, I didn't really fully understand or comprehend. It's been something that I struggled with for quite some time. Struggle with for quite some time, but I have a better grasp on it now than I did 2018.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that's crazy. The reason why that's crazy, because, like, I'm realizing how much we have in common. Like, we have a lot in common.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I say that, because I also been diagnosed with anxiety disorder.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, like, I've been having panic. Like, I remember my first panic attack. I was a kid, and then it just progressed from there. And like do you have like weird physical symptoms too? Like, because I'll be going through that. Like sometimes I wake up and my heart's pounding, like shit like that.
Yeah, I sweat, like, and I get into like this really like anxious sweat. It's like I feel like my body starts to ache as if I just played a basketball game, right? It's really weird. And I remember the first time I had like one of those type of moments, I thought I thought I was getting sick. I thought I had like the flu. Like I was a really weird feeling. But one of the things that my therapist taught me was just these breathing exercises that I've been doing it for a couple of years now. That, I mean, I just like always have to just calm myself. I have to calm my nerves. Like that helps me for sure.
Wow, definitely, man. So like with me, I just meditate.
Yeah,
that's how like I keep my zen and I keep my anxiety down. Yep. Sometimes I procrastinate because I'm a procrastinator, but it's something else I'm working on. Magic Lives. I'm butchering the hell out of your names. I am so sorry. Thank you guys for a great conversation. Thank you very much. Also, for anybody who's watching this live, if you're curious or if you have any questions, we will be wrapping this interview up soon. But if you guys have any additional questions for me or Kyrus, please hit the question button and we'll be happy to answer whatever you guys want.
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely. I had a panic attack while I was I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
panic attack while pregnant?
That's no joke. And I tell people that have never had one that like you'll never really fully understand what it's like to go through it unless you have one yourself. Like I don't know, because I have yet to find the words to really describe it. Yeah. And the thoughts that go through my head, because like there's been times I've thought some just very dark things that I just wouldn't have ever thought that I would think. You know what I'm saying? Wow. And that was probably the scariest part of all of it, because like just some of the things that would go through my head, not recently, but like back in 2018, it was, I mean, oh man, it was bad. It was really bad, and I would just get incredibly anxious.
Wow! Oh my God, man. Yeah, because I'm saying oh my God because I'm relating to you. You know what I mean? I'm definitely relating because like panic attacks comes in all forms. Don't just just chest pains or heart beating. Sometimes it's so bad you be in the hospital. Like I was so bad for me. I was in the back of a fucking ambulance.
and there's some people that I know that when they have a panic attack, you would never know. You would never know. Everything to us will seem normal. Right, but at the end, but if you were to talk to them afterwards, they would be like, "That was not a good moment for me," and I'm like, "Why?" And they're like, "I had a panic attack." I'm like, "Oh, I would have never known." But some people, like the way that they go through it, they just like bottle it and funnel it down, and yes, that's just that. It comes in all shapes and sizes.
Wow, man, definitely. So like growing up as a kid and dealing with that, like how did your parents or your siblings deal with that?
Well, I didn't, when I was a kid, I didn't think anything of it, honestly, because I didn't realize that I would ever, I don't think I fully understood what it could have been, like I would have my moments, but I really didn't grasp onto that even as a possibility until I was well into my 30s. I'm 34. This had to be like, I was like 30, 31. I honestly didn't grasp any part of that. I didn't, because like I don't want to say I was in denial, but I was like, no, that's not me. I'm just having a bad day. I'm just in my feels right now. Like that's how I would quantify it. And it wasn't until I went to go, started seeing a therapist. I'm like, oh, there might be something deeper here. There might be something deeper here that's been going on with me,
Wow, man.
Yeah.
So do you have a YouTube channel so that you could put up longer videos and stuff?
Yeah, I do. I have a YouTube channel. People just type in The Vibe with Kai. I actually just posted a video yesterday. This week, my focus has been all about optimism and, how people can improve their optimistic view in for the rest of 2021. So that's my most recent video is about that.
Okay. I'm gonna subscribe and I'm gonna watch it
Yeah,
right
man.
after this video, man. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, we got a fan question. We got our first fan question. What was the topic of discussion? Oh, we were just discussing anxiety, not this, just anxiety and things like
just
that.
Talking, having a convo.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. And another thing, I want to, bring up another subject so we don't have to make the whole thing about panic attacks and stuff. But religious-wise, did you grow up religiously, and how is your, religion now? Or if you have?
That's a very good question. So I told you before, I went to a Christian school when I was younger. My sister is a reverend. My mom is in the church choir. My dad works for the church. I've lived a church life pretty much my entire life. Admittedly, I don't go to church as much as I used to. But I am faithful for sure.
Okay, definitely. Yeah, me personally, I'm just very spiritual, but
yeah, I get that. Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely. Thank you very much. So, do you have a great relationship with your parents?
My parents separated 2017, I want to say, which is very weird to watch your parents separate as an adult. It was very weird. To watch them separate, because like you fully grasp like the situation. And like when you're a kid and you watch your parents separate, like you don't really fully understand what's going on. But as a grown ass man, to watch my parents separate, that was weird. But yeah, I would say I've always been a mama's boy. So like I have a good relationship with my mom, and my dad and I don't talk as much as we used to, but we still have a good relationship.
Okay, definitely. I have a good relationship with my mom. I don't really talk to my dad that much. With my stepdad, I don't know who my real dad is, but my stepdad, I don't really, we don't talk that much. I don't know why.
Right.
It's kind of iffy. I don't want to get into it. I want to bring up one of your videos that really, really touched me. When you brought up that, you was at your uncle's funeral and you just start bawling out crying, and you said that, it's great to release those emotions. So like, can you tell me a little bit more about that? And you said saying your mom cries what really got to you.
Absolutely. I think growing up especially as Black men, we're taught to not cry because that's the wussy thing to do. Right. I grew up playing sports, like playing basketball and football and all this stuff. And you're taught not to cry, because that's not a good thing. That's not a manly thing to do. So growing up, I would always find a way to suppress those tears. And it wasn't until like legit, like into my 30s, my 20s and my 30s, when I started to like embrace it. And watching my mom cry at the funeral, I was like, oh man, this is weird, because I don't see my mom cry often. So like to see that kind of happen, it was weird, but I'm glad it happened. It was very therapeutic for sure.
Okay, me too. Like I can't stand the sight of seeing my mom cry neither. So we definitely have that in common. So excuse me, we have a couple more questions to ask, and then I'm gonna let you get up out of here. Okay.
Yeah. No.
All right, so your class of 2005, which was a great year. I envy people who grew up in that era and have vivid memories of that era. Because, I'm 28, so like in 2005, I think I was still in middle school.
Okay, stop talking. Don't ruin it.
Oh, speaking of that, I'm gonna bring up that real quick. You made a TikTok video where this girl was terrified because she was born in 2000 or something like that, and like thinking that she's old, and then you made a stitch like really, like what do you be feeling when you be seeing these like young kids born in the 2000s thinking that they're so old?
It cracks me up. I love it because like I grew up, like I always watch my parents and like older people like do that for me, and like I'm like never be that person, and then now I'm suddenly that person being like, these kids don't know what they're talking about. I'm that person now, and that's weird.
Right, exactly. Like you look at these people, like if you didn't have a damn CD player, you know what I mean, like a zero skip CD player when you was a kid, like you are not that old. Like, you know, I had a freaking video now. You know what I mean? Like most kids don't know what the hell a video now is. You know what I mean?
I know.
Like,
it's insane.
Right, exactly. I still have an N64 right there, and I play that.
I have an N64. I have my Sega Genesis. Yeah, man.
Wow. And I've been playing my N64 like sometimes more than my PS4. Like I have a PlayStation too.
I hear you. There's nothing wrong with that. Live it up.
I love my vintage. I love my Galaga and my Pac-Man. So, you know, definitely, you know, I love my vintage games, and people always call me like an old soul for that because I like a lot of old stuff. Like, are you into, like, you know, music-wise, like, are you into, like, a lot of R&B or, like, you know, a lot of old-school stuff?
Very much so. 90s R&B is my favorite. That's what I listen to the most, for sure. In fact, today I was listening to Drew Hill on the way to work today. I was listening to Drew Hill. So 100%.
Was you singing your lungs out in the car with the windows rolled up?
Absolutely.
1981 in the house. Hey, what's up? 1981, 1983. Oh, shoot,
there's
got
the
some
80s babies.
Okay.
I'm talking 80s babies in the house.
Yes, definitely, man.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, when it comes down to, you know, the kids today, like, what's one big thing you think a lot of them might be missing out on? Like, a lot of the kids and teens.
To be honest, I don't think they're missing out on anything. I think that they're living their life the same way we lived our life, you know, and the ignorance, and I use that in an endearing way because, like, we're all ignorant in a way. The ignorance is blissful, you know. It's living their life the same exact way that we lived ours, and we've learned from it. So, like, those are beautiful moments. If they knew everything, if we all knew everything growing up, then, like, there would be no point to life, you know. So I'll never be one of those people that's like, oh, these kids nowadays and they're like they're raps. Like, I'm not ever going to be that person because we were the same way with the generation above us. So it's no problem.
Yes, definitely, man, definitely. So on one of your TikTok videos, you said, tell your friends you love them and make it weird. Do you do that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Casey, I love you.
I love you more.
There we go. I tell my friends I love them all the time. Yeah, I think it's important because you get one chance on this rock, and you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. You know, you never know where, you know, what, you know. I've lost too many people, too many friends, and too many family members to regret the awkward feeling of telling somebody that you care for them. Right. You know, I'll live in that awkwardness. I'll live in it. It might be weird, but it's okay because, like, I said it and they know it. So I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm.
No, I feel you, bro. I feel you. So, like, another thing I want to touch on is Gilmore Girls. When did you start watching Gilmore Girls? Because, like, you bring that up a lot in your podcast here on TikTok. You must be, like, you know, a big fangirl of Gilmore Girls. I'm convinced you have a Gilmore Girls room, like an entire room of posters.
I did not watch a single episode of Gilmore Girls until October of last year. To make a long story short,
wow, okay.
I made a video about Gilmore Girls, making fun of it because my roommate was watching it, and it went viral. I ended up making a couple other videos about, like, making fun of it. It went viral, and people were like, you should just watch it. So I started watching it and documenting every single episode that I've watched. So yeah, it's been a fun experience, and it's been fun because it's such a niche, loving, caring audience that the Gilmore Girls crowd is, and, like, I can't complain. I can't complain. They've been nothing but welcome. That whole community has been nothing but welcoming to me, and it's not my favorite show in the world, no, but I enjoy it. I enjoy the watching it. I enjoy documenting it, and I enjoy speaking with people about it, for sure.
Wow,
yeah,
man. Huge fan of Gilmore Girls, man. Like, you just as much of a fan of Gilmore Girls as I am of MK. You know what MK is, right?
MK.
Mortal Kombat.
Oh, Mortal Kombat.
That's my thing right there. Like,
I'm trying to think of what TV show is MK. But yeah, I love. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I'm a big fanboy of MK. Like, you know,
gotcha.
like, ever since I was a kid.
Did you see the new movie? Did you see it? Did you like it?
I saw it. I did, and I was disappointed.
Me too.
I will say the first 10 minutes of Scorpion, you know what I mean? Like mashing all of them ninjas. Like I
Yeah.
will say the first 10 minutes was fucking epic. I'll say
Yeah.
that. But then after that,
Yeah.
the movie just kind of downslided as it went on, and it became a bit soap opera-y after a
Yes.
while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I hear
especially
you.
Liu Kang, and like it became just cliche and just it was just like it was just like like it was kind of. And then Cole Young, the main character, I was like, he's not really very interesting to me. And, you know, if they add him in as a DLC in MK11, I'm definitely not going to play him. I'll say that.
Right.
We have another fan question coming up right here from Rosh.R83. What's your favorite book?
I have
favorite books.
My favorite books, I love The Kite Runner. I'm a big fan of The Alchemist and Runaway Jury by John Grisham.
Wow. Okay.
And the entire Harry Potter series, of course. But those first three are my favorites.
Wait, so the entire Harry Potter, so like, was you reading them when they first came out and stuff?
Yes.
Like,
yes, I was that person. I was that person that was waiting up at the store, waiting for the next book to be released. Yes.
Wow, just like my sister, because my sister was obsessed. Like, she has all the movies and all the books.
Yeah. I love Harry Potter. I love him.
Did you watch Did you watch the spinoff?
You talk about on Broadway?
Beasts?
Oh, Fantastic Beasts. Yeah, I've seen the movies. I haven't read anything, but I have seen the movies. Yeah, for sure.
Yes. Balzan Design said, "Yeah, me too." It was like, yes, it was not up to par.
Yeah.
Just a couple more questions, and then we're gonna get you out of here. So, one more question I want to ask is about your theater experience. So, was you singing?
Yeah, I'm always singing.
Like singing, like like. So
I love singing.
Oh, okay. So I'm like, if you be singing, like, how come you don't post more singing videos?
You know what? So the people that I went to college with and the people that know me and my theater world, they ask me all the time. They're like, Kai, you have all of these followers on TikTok and you don't ever sing in any of them. I'm like, I know. And people want me to start singing in my TikToks. We'll see. Maybe.
Yeah. If you want to
I'm too self-conscious because like people are very judgmental when it comes to like singing. And so like I just don't want to start singing and people be like, "Oh, you're awful." Like I can't handle that. I live with the
I feel you, man. Definitely. Yeah. I'll be self-conscious too. And then what Carlino said, what is your favorite Gilmore Girls episode?
My favorite Gilmore Girls episode? There is an episode in season 4. I think it's season 4. It's called Dear Richard and Emily. That's my favorite Gilmore Girls episode.
Oh, so what went on in that episode? If you could give me a quick summary.
It was a flashback episode, so we got to see the main characters and what their lives were like when they were young, which was really, really nice. Like that doesn't happen so often, so I just appreciated that for sure.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And then Designs, I'm gonna just have to call you by Designs because I can't say all of it correctly. She said yes, he can sing. Okay. Does she know you personally? Is she a friend of yours?
Well, yeah, we met on TikTok. We've never met in person, but she's been one of my most faithful, awesome followers, and I don't even call her a follower. She's a friend.
Really? Hey, yo, I want to do something for her, okay? I want to do something for her real quick before we get out of here. If you want to, jump on the live with us, and you can ask and say whatever you want to ask them, okay? Miss Designs, if you want to, you can send a request in the live, and I'll bring you up, and you can chat for a second with us.
No worries.
Yeah, y'all never met in person, so I want to unite you guys.
Yeah, no worries. I do have to bounce in like 5 minutes, but I'm free to do whatever until then. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, he got to bounce in a couple of minutes, so we can only ask a couple more questions. If you don't want to hop on right now, that's fine. Maybe another time if you're ever up for another interview.
You should definitely consider interviewing her as well. She's really cool, and like her talking about her business would probably be a really good topic for sure.
Okay, definitely, man, definitely. So, like, you know, have you you took voice lessons as a kid? Like, you've always, like, you know, your parents got you into singing and stuff?
Yeah, I did the whole experience, you know. I did I did a couple off Broadway, you know, work, and a couple tours, a couple regional productions, and yeah, I had a very good theatrical career. I was very blessed.
Okay, definitely. Oh,
Yeah.
she sent the request. We're gonna let you on real quick. Just mind you, we got about 3 minutes left, so you know I don't want to rush, but I do want to unite you guys real quick because I know you said you've been a fan of hers for a while.
Sure.
Hey, what's up?
Hi, Kai. Hi.
Hi.
Like when I tell you, I had. Yeah. Anyways, how y'all doing?
We doing good. Thank you so much. So now we united, you guys. What you want to say to them?
I just want to say hi. You know, Kai, you know, knows that anything he pretty much is not. I try not to sound like a stalker because it's weird. But Kai knows a lot about me, and only because we interacted a lot on social media.
Mm-hmm.
We have never met in person. We joke around with that. Yeah, like the way if this is your first time ever talking to Kai, speaking to Kai, you know, like really like talking to him, you are definitely in for a treat because this individual right here is a fabulous person. He lets people embarrass themselves on the internet. And then he just encouraged you to be yourself. And he is really an awesome person, and he already knows I like to make him squirm.
Never do, like my arms right now. I don't even know what to do with my body. I don't take compliments well, so
he does.
Words, thank you.
And I'm not the only one who tells him take them because you deserve them. Like you are a great person. You make people smile. You make people feel good about themselves. You know, you friend them, and you haven't even met them in person. And I'm like, and when it comes to the empath stuff, because I was in here when y'all was talking about the empath stuff, because I am one also, and so that's how the energies kind of met. He denies it, but we're not gonna go there. But Kai knows how I feel about him, even though he don't believe it. Believe it. When people say they like you, believe it. Trust me. It is fact. I don't know about nobody else, but when I say like you, I don't say that very often. You know, and I like people, sort of. But like if I find a person I like, then yes, you know, yes, he can sing. Not he can't sing. He can sing anything. When I say anything, he can sing anything. And I just be like, okay, we just gonna get, you know, if he sing right now, you will see what I'm saying. No, he's not gonna sing right now because he's like put on the. But yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You have a lot of kind words, and I do want to interview you too anytime soon. You know what I mean? Definitely hit me up. Definitely inbox me. And we got to get up out of here. But thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yes, I appreciate you both.
Hi, Davina.
All right. Bye-bye. So, Kyrus, how did that feel reuniting with your biggest fan for the first time in person?
It's always a very humbling experience, for sure. I you know, these people keep me going, and I'm just very blessed to have such an incredibly supportive group of people by my side. You know, I'm incredibly blessed.
Yes. So 702 Empress says all this from my daughter. Okay.
Yeah, that's her mom. That's her mom.
Oh, okay. Definitely. And she says, I like her in big capital letters. And Rosh R23 says to you guys, love and blessings. Thank you so much. Love and blessings back. So I'm gonna let you get up out of here, man. Thank you so much for doing this interview. anytime you want to come back, and I mean anytime, please hit me up, because this is a great interview.
The pleasure is all mine. And I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your energy. I appreciate your curiosity. It's all incredibly, sweet and powerful. And just I'm very fortunate to have had this experience, and I thank you for sitting and chatting with me.
Definitely.
Yeah.
702 says sing so I can hear you. Not right now,
No,
maybe another time, but thank you so much. Have a good one, okay?
I'll see you. Bye.
All right, bye.